Coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja, I am Mukhtar Kasim. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. We begin from the health sector, where medical tourism continues to drain Nigeria's economy and weaken its health system as thousands of global citizens travel abroad for treatment that could be available at home with better investment in the sector. Our correspondent, Zara Unasir, completes the report.
What was once the preserve of people from less developed nations seeking advanced treatment in foreign hospitals has now become a common practice among Nigerians across different income levels. Experts say the trend underscores the weakness of Nigeria's healthcare delivery system, noting that it does not only drain foreign exchange but also exposes patients to risks such as foreign infections and unregulated standards of care. Observation shows that many Nigerians have more confidence in seeking medical treatment abroad than within their own country. Some citizens argue that the persistent decay in local health infrastructure is the reason medical tourism has become inevitable for those who can afford it.
Our health sector is in comatose because everything in Nigeria health sector, for me, I don't think is working.
Okay, on that note, I think they feel like Nigerian doctors, they are not really professional, unlike outside medical personnel. And again, their facilities is more advanced than Nigerian facilities.
Hassan Yola Hassan recounts his journey from Nigeria to Egypt for medical treatment, explaining how he regained his health after procedures he could not access at home.
We don't have facilities here. We don't have medical facilities here. Therefore, our health institution is very poor and so that's why even me, I was in Egypt the last 2 years for medical tourism. Go and treat myself there because I spent about 5 to 10 years here without getting a good treatment.
Medical experts emphasize that Nigeria must urgently invest in modern facilities, train personnel, and strengthen regulations to curb dependence on foreign hospitals. They warn that without deliberate reforms, medical tourism will continue to undermine Nigeria's economy and health care system. Zahra Nasir, reporting for Global TV News.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has urged Nigerians to pray for the growth and progress of the nation. The president, who was represented by the Minister of Information, Mohammed Idris, made this known at the Jumat service to commemorate Nigeria's 67th independence anniversary. Samuel Odi reports.
The president, who was represented by Minister of Information Mohammed Idris at the Jumat service, thanked God for the peace and prosperity the country have enjoyed so far.
The president is asking all Nigerians to forget about whatever differences that there are. Differences will always be there. But there is the message of hope, message of unity, message of togetherness that all of us need to imbibe so that all...
At the National Mosque in Abuja, prominent Islamic cleric Imam Lukman Zakaria led the congregation in offering special prayers for the continued stability, prosperity and security of the nation. The cleric urged leaders to embrace justice, fairness and accountability in governance while calling on citizens to remain steadfast in prayers and commitment to nation building. The estates of Nukbe, Alhaji Yahaya Abubakar and top government officials and members of diplomatic community all united in thanksgiving for Nigerians' journey since independence in 1960. He called for Nigerians to unite and shun tribalism.
For that, and we're moving gradually, but the sky is our limit, and we pray Almighty Allah to guide our leaders aright. We pray Almighty Allah to give us peace and security and development in this country.
Similar prayer sections were observed in mosques across the 36 states of the Federation, reinforcing the collective hope for a stronger and more united Nigeria as Nigerian clocks 65. The prayers offered today serve as a reminder that beyond policies and politics, divine guidance and commitments of the people remain the nation's future. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Let's head to Oyo State, where former governor of the state, Oba Rashidi Ladoja, has officially been crowned as the 44th Olu-Ibadan of Ibadan land. He was crowned at the Oshemeji Temple in Ibadan Southeast local government area of the state. Ladoja, who had earlier received the traditional Akoko leaf. Away from that, the Federal High Court in Abuja has rejected the non-case submission filed by Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the banned indigenous people of Biafra, in his terrorism trial. Justice James Omotosho ruled that the prosecution led by the Department of State Services has established a prima facie case requiring Kanu to open his defense. Ubong Usoro reports.
Kanu's legal team has argued that no evidence linked him to terrorism, claiming his calls for self-defense were constitutional rights, not incitement to violence.
The judge made a ruling that there's a prima facie evidence that needs to be explained. So in common parlance, it calls on him to come and mount his own defense. But there is the other aspect of the ruling that concerned extraordinary rendition. That very one is one that compounded us, because the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is so open and notorious.
The challenge is prolonged solitary confinement. However, the court found sufficient grounds to proceed. In a significant health-related development, the court ordered the Nigerian Medical Association to form an expert team to assess Kanu's medical condition within the 8 days. This report will determine his fitness to stand trial. The next court session is scheduled for October the 8th to review the medical finding and set the trial date.
But there's a short date given of 8 days for the NMA to submit its report. So somebody is ill, I don't think NIA is going to change much of that. But I think the judge wanted to leave the record open to admit every possible evidence regarding this matter. But meantime, we are disappointed. Our client remains ill and remains detained, and we're not happy about that. His situation requires urgent and emergent care. So what?
Kanu has been in custody since his return from Kenya in 2021. The trial will now continue following the judge's latest ruling. Ubong Usoro for Global Television.
With the agenda of restoring Abuja's master plan, the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, has flagged off the construction of arterial road N11, N16, N40 and Sales 03 in Karasana District to Renewed Hope Estate in Abuja. Kabir Hassan reports.
The flag of health at the Karasana District was attended by eminent personalities, dignitaries and traditional rulers who praised the federal government effort and its agenda on infrastructure development across the nation's capital. The Federal Capital Territory Minister, Nyesom Wike, says the project will provide job opportunities, enhance the area, and improve all other infrastructure developments. He assured good quality work, stating that when the project is completed, it will provide good road network.
Mr. President directed that the FCT should provide infrastructure in terms of road network to link up the new estate and other estates within the district. We assure the residents of this Kasana district that were discussed with the contractors. We'll do everything within our own powers to send our funds and then available so that we will achieve the inauguration of this road network. These several of the road network contracts are going on with the quality required. All we ask for is for the residents here and the community to support the company so that they're able to achieve on time.
The 10.5 kilometer road, when completed, will ease traffic and improve residential development as able to achieve the project. Kabir Hassan.
Police Kayode Gbetukun has commissioned 59 armored Toyota Hilux vehicles in Abuja to boost special operations and improve security response. He says the force is ready to take the fight to criminals across the country. Aniete Patrick reports.
Security in Nigeria and across Africa is growing more complex and durability for tactical units on the field. He warned that the vehicles are not ceremonial assets but operational reinforcements that must never sit idle or be diverted for private use.
These assets here today that we are commissioning represent our determination to
He noted that the operational vehicles are stronger tools to fight any criminal activities across the country. He emphasized that all operations with the new assets must remain lawful, proportionate, and professional. The IGP stressed that while the Hiluxes provide mobility and protection, only the discipline and integrity officers would transform them into true instruments of security.
Let me, however, state clearly that equipment alone cannot guarantee results. It is the discipline, judgment, and courage of the officers who operate them and the support of the people that will transform these vehicles into instruments of security. The Hiluxes will provide the shield, but our officers must provide the integrity.
Egbetakun assured Nigerians that more vehicles will be deployed in the days ahead to commands nationwide. While thanking President Bola Tinubu for supporting the acquisition, the IGP pledged that the police will justify the investments through improved safety and restored public confidence. Aniete Patrick, reporting for Global TV.
You are watching the live broadcast of the Midday News. When the Midday News returns, Dangote Refinery dismisses mass layoff report, says company is reorganizing operations. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. You're welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, this is the live broadcast of the Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Mukhtar Kasim. And now to business news, where the Dangote Group has dismissed reports of mass staff layout, clarifying that the ongoing organization in its petroleum refinery only affects a small number of employees and is aimed at safeguarding operations and preventing sabotage. The statement, shared via the group's X official Twitter account, noted that the reorganization is a necessary measure to protect the refinery from repeated acts of sabotage that have raised safety concerns and affected operational efficiency. The refinery confirmed that over 3,000 Nigerian workers continue to work actively within the facility and emphasized that only a very small number of staff have been affected by the reorganization. Still talking business, the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, has unveiled a revised regulation that allows pension funds to gain exposure to gold through tradable gold receipts listed on the Security and Exchange Commission reorganized exchanges. This innovation re-enables pension funds administrators to invest in gold without complexities of physical storage, offering a secure and liquid alternative asset class. Now, gold receipts are part of a broader suite of instruments introduced under the Pension Commission updated investment guidelines aimed at enhancing diversification, boosting returns, and minimizing concentration risks. And now to news making rounds on the foreign scene, where in Madagascar, anger over crippling power and water cut has boiled into a protest in the country. Our correspondent has details of the report. Protesters had defied a government ban and attempted to gather in the city center, carrying banners demanding their basic rights. Young people led the rally, waving placards and even the pirate flag of the Japanese anime series One Piece, now a global symbol of defiance. What began as a peaceful march soon descended into chaos. Riot police in white 4x4s fired gas and rubber bullets to scatter the crowd, making several arrests. In retaliation, demonstrators set fire to the homes of lawmakers and vandalized properties, while banks and shops were looted as night fell. Residents say daily blackouts lasting up to 12 hours have made their lives unbearable. Many blame corruption, mismanagement, and a lack of transparency in government. With a curfew now in place, and schools ordered closed, Madagascar faces growing unrest. Despite vast natural resources, the country remains among the poorest in the world, and its citizens say they are simply demanding the dignity of light and water. Mukhtar Kasim, reporting for Global Television News. Away from the international scene and turn our attention to sports, where the Nigerian Football Federation has dismissed reports suggesting it intends to amend its status at the annual General Assembly scheduled. Yeah, welcome back from that break, and now the news continues, where the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has dismissed reports suggesting it intends to amend the annual General Assembly scheduled